They say Christmas is about abundance, tradition, family feasts. But for 4 Christmases 1941, 1942, 1943, and 1944 American families celebrated without the foods that defined the holiday. December 1943. Your ration book sits on the kitchen table. Red stamps for meat, blue stamps for processed foods, brown stamps for canned goods. You've saved stamps for weeks, hoarded sugar, begged neighbors for butter. Christmas dinner depends on government permission. That beef roast requires stamps you don't have. Those candy canes? Factories stopped making them. That orange in your child's stocking went to soldiers overseas instead. These weren't shortages. This was sacrifice. 16 million men fighting overseas. The home front feeding them first, going without second, making Christmas from whatever remained. Today, I'm taking you back. When Christmas cookies were illegal if you used too much sugar. When coffee was rationed to 1 pound every 5 weeks. When bananas disappeared completely for 3 years. When American families learned what doing without actually meant. Stay with me. These 20 foods tell the story of Christmas on the home front, when patriotism tasted like substitution and sacrifice. Number 1. Beef roast. Margaret Henderson held her ration book December 1943, counting red stamps. A beef roast for Christmas dinner required 7 stamps plus cash. She had 4 stamps remaining for the entire month. Her family expected roast beef. Every Christmas since 1920, roast beef. Not this year. Not without stamps she'd already spent. Margaret had saved stamps since Thanksgiving, planned carefully, calculated precisely. But her husband's work boots wore through leather rationed, new boots required stamps. Choose, husband's feet or Christmas roast. She chose feet. Christmas would be meatless. Again. During World War II, beef rationing began March 1943. Each person received approximately 2 pounds of meat weekly through red stamp allocation. Holiday roasts required hoarding stamps for weeks, sacrificing other meals, choosing beef over butter, over cheese, over everything else. Red stamps buying meat, butter, cheese, canned fish, canned milk. Points varying by cut, by availability, by military needs. Beef roast expensive in points, expensive in cash, expensive in sacrifice required to obtain it. Margaret's meatless Christmas became 3 more meatless Christmases. 1943, 1944, and 1945 no roast, until rationing ended 1946. Her children barely remembered what Christmas roast tasted like. They learned holidays meant sacrifice first, celebration second. Every missing roast carried a message. Soldiers eat first. Families sacrifice second. Christmas dinner bows to military necessity. Number 2. Ham with pineapple. Before ham with pineapple became Christmas standard, it required 2 impossible things. Ham rationed red stamp meat. Pineapple from Hawaii, where production halted, shipping stopped, cans disappeared from stores completely. December 1942. Helen Morrison wanted ham with pineapple for Christmas. Her mother's recipe, her grandmother's tradition, her children's favorite. But ham required stamps she'd spent on Thanksgiving turkey. And pineapple? Stores hadn't stocked it since Pearl Harbor. She went to 3 grocery stores. No canned pineapple. None. The grocer explained. Hawaii's pineapple production went to military. Shipping went to war materials. Civilians got nothing. Pineapple impossible. Not rationed, simply gone. December 1942. First wartime Christmas. Families learning rationing meant restricted amounts. But some items weren't rationed. They'd vanished completely. Pineapple disappeared December 7th, 1941. Didn't return until 1946. Ham achievable with stamps and sacrifice. Pineapple unachievable with any amount of stamps, any amount of money, any amount of begging. Some foods were regulated. Others were simply impossible. Holland made ham without pineapple. Dry, plain ham that her children claimed tasted wrong, tasted incomplete, tasted like Christmas interrupted by war that changed everything, including what belonged on holiday ham. Every plain ham slice carried a message. Some sacrifices are rationed, others are total. Christmas traditions die when ingredients disappear completely. Number 3. Turkey over 12 pounds. Dorothy Klein wanted turkey for Christmas 1944. Large turkey, feeding extended family, traditional centerpiece. But government restricted turkeys over 12 pounds large birds reserved for military, for feeding troops overseas. Civilians got small birds or nothing. She ordered turkey in November, told butcher biggest available. December 23rd, she picked up 9-pound turkey. 9 pounds for 14 people expected Christmas dinner. Dorothy stared at that small bird. How? How could 9 pounds feed 14 people? Butcher shrugged government regulations. Nothing he could do. Large turkeys went to soldiers. Small turkeys fed home front. During World War II, large turkeys restricted, not technically rationed. Government diverted large birds to military, left small birds for civilians. Families accustomed to 20-pound turkeys got 8, 9, 10-pound birds maximum. Traditional holiday feasts became impossible mathematics. Small turkey meant creative cooking. Dorothy stretched it with stuffing, with gravy made from every drop of drippings, with side dishes filling plates before meat arrived. Turkey became garnish, not centerpiece. Revolutionary shift for traditional Christmas. Dorothy's 9-pound turkey fed 14 people barely. Everyone received turkey taste, turkey memory, turkey tradition technically continued. But nobody felt full, satisfied, traditionally fed. Christmas dinner became deprivation, disguised as celebration. Every small turkey slice carried a message. Even available food comes restricted. Tradition shrinks during wartime. Feeding soldiers means civilians eating less even on Christmas. Number 4. Butter for baking 4 ounces per person. Per week. That was butter ration December 1943. 4 ounces 1 stick for cooking, baking, spreading, everything. Christmas baking required pounds. 4 ounces made nothing. Patricia White needed butter for Christmas cookies. Traditional family recipes requiring butter, not margarine, not substitutes, real butter. Each recipe needed 1 pound minimum. Her ration? 4 ounces weekly, 1/4 of one recipe. Mathematics making Christmas baking impossible. She hoarded butter for 6 weeks before Christmas. Saved every ration, used margarine for daily cooking, reserved precious butter for holiday baking. 6 weeks of saving yielded 24 ounces 1.5 pounds. Enough for 1.5 recipes. She'd planned 7. December 1943, when butter rationing revealed home front sacrifices depth. Butter rationed to 4 ounces per person weekly, starting 1943, continuing through 1945. Families choosing. Butter for daily bread or butter for Christmas cookies. Never both. Butter rationing created margarine industry. White margarine sold with yellow dye packet mix at home. Create fake butter. Pretend it tasted same. It didn't. Everyone knew. Nobody acknowledged it. Patricia's 1.5 batches of real butter cookies became Christmas treasure. She gave them as gifts, 1 cookie per person, wrapped carefully, presented like jewelry. Butter cookies became luxury item, special occasion food, reminder of abundance that existed before war. Every butter cookie carried a message. Scarcity creates value. 4 ounces means choosing constantly. Christmas baking becomes impossible when ingredients are rationed by the ounce. Would you save butter for 6 weeks to make Christmas cookies? Drop a comment if rationing sounds unbearable or patriotic sacrifice. Number 5. Bacon. Bacon fat meant explosives. Literally. Government needed bacon grease for glycerin production. for making bombs for killing Nazis. Every housewife saving bacon grease in tin cans, taking it to butcher, turning breakfast byproduct into ammunition. Janet Mitchell cooked bacon rarely during World War II. Bacon rationed heavily, expensive in points, expensive in cash. But when she cooked it, she saved every drop of grease, never wasting potential ammunition, never throwing away what could kill enemies. Her children wanted bacon for Christmas breakfast, traditional Christmas morning smell. She'd saved stamps for weeks, enough for 1 pound bacon, enough for Christmas morning tradition, enough for one normal meal that felt pre-war normal, December 1944, when bacon represented dual sacrifice. Rationed like other meats, requiring stamps, limiting consumption, but also requiring grease collection, turning every bacon breakfast into patriotic duty, into contribution to war effort beyond just going without. Bacon grease collected at butcher shops, sent to rendering plants, processed into glycerin, made into explosives. Government propaganda emphasized 1 tablespoon bacon grease equals bullets, enough grease equals bombs. Cooking bacon became weapons production. Janet's Christmas bacon filled her apartment with smell her children remembered all their lives. Bacon sizzling, grease popping, smell announcing. Christmas morning, brief abundance, temporary return to normal. Then grease went into collection tin, headed for munitions factory, became part of war thousands of miles away. Every bacon strip carried a message. Even breakfast contributes to war effort. Fat becomes ammunition. Christmas morning bacon costs stamps, grease, and guilt about wanting luxury during wartime. Number 6. Traditional fruitcake. Fruitcake required impossible amounts of sugar. Traditional recipe called for 2 cups sugar minimum. Sugar ration? 8 to 12 ounces per person every 2 weeks. 2 cups equaled 16 ounces more than 2 weeks' ration for entire family, used for 1 cake. Helen Thompson wanted fruitcake for Christmas 1942. Her mother's recipe, soaked in rum, aged for weeks, traditional gift to neighbors, church, extended family. Recipe requiring sugar she couldn't obtain legally. She considered black market sugar. Whispered about, available if you knew who to ask. Paid double or triple, risked fines if caught. Black market sugar funded criminal networks, undermined war effort, but made traditional Christmas baking possible. December 1942, when sugar rationing hit hardest. Sugar rationed starting May 1942, continuing through 1946. 8 to 12 ounces per person. Every 2 weeks, barely enough for coffee sweetening. Certainly not enough for holiday baking, requiring pounds of sugar. Sugar rationing spawned black market operations. Criminals stealing ration stamps, counterfeiting stamps, selling sugar illegally. Families desperate for Christmas normalcy sometimes participated, risking prosecution, fines, jail time for illegal sugar purchases. Helen didn't buy black market sugar. She made sugarless fruitcake applesauce, providing sweetness, corn syrup substituting when available, raisins and dates, adding natural sugar. It tasted wrong, looked wrong, represented compromise Christmas became during wartime. Every sugarless fruitcake slice carried a message. Traditional recipes die during rationing. Sugar becomes currency. Christmas baking becomes choosing, legal deprivation or illegal abundance. Number 7. Candy canes. Commercial candy production ceased 1942. Sugar rationing made candy production impossible. Candy required pure sugar. No substitutes worked. Factories converted to war material production. Candy canes disappeared from stores completely. Robert Davis's children wanted candy canes December 1943. Red and white peppermint sticks that hung on Christmas trees since they could remember. But stores sold no candy canes. None. Empty hooks where candy hung before Pearl Harbor. He asked 5 stores. All said same thing. No candy canes available, none coming, Sugar rationing made candy production illegal, essentially. Factories that made candy now made military supplies. Candy was luxury civilians sacrificed. December 1943, when Christmas traditions disappeared beyond rationing. Not limited, eliminated. Candy canes weren't rationed with points. They simply didn't exist. Commercial candy production stayed halted until war ended. Some families made corn syrup candy at home, stretching sugar rations, using substitutes, attempting homemade candy canes. Results were sticky, misshapen, barely resembling store-bought versions. But they were something when nothing else was available. Robert's children got no candy canes Christmas 1943. Their tree hung popcorn strings, paper chains, homemade ornaments, nothing peppermint striped, nothing that tasted like pre-war Christmas. Candy canes became memory, not tradition. Every missing candy cane carried a message. Luxuries disappear first. Sugar scarcity kills candy industry. Christmas trees look different when commerce serves war instead of children. Number 8. Fudge and Divinity candy. Fudge required 2 cups sugar. Divinity required 1.5 cups sugar, plus corn syrup. Both required amounts that consumed entire family's sugar ration for a month, left nothing for coffee, for baking, for anything else. Mary Sullivan made fudge every Christmas since 1928. Her specialty, her gift to neighbors, her contribution to church cookie exchange. December 1943, she calculated, 1 batch fudge consumed her family's sugar ration for 4 weeks. 4 weeks without sweetened coffee, without sugar for anything, for 1 batch of fudge. She couldn't justify it. Couldn't spend months sugar on candy when children needed sweetness in daily life, when coffee tasted bitter without sugar, when other baking required tiny amounts hoarded carefully. December 1943, when candy making became impossible luxury. Sugar rationing killing not just candy purchases, but homemade candy traditions. Fudge, Divinity, peanut brittle, anything requiring concentrated sugar amounts. Christmas candy became memory, casualty of rationing mathematics. Some women attempted substitute saccharin for sugar, honey when available, corn syrup stretched impossibly thin. Nothing tasted right. Chemical sweeteners left bitter aftertaste. Honey changed flavor completely. Corn syrup alone made sticky failures, not candy. Mary's Christmas without fudge felt incomplete. Neighbors missed her fudge, asked about it, understood but mourned when she explained. Sugar rationing killing small traditions, eliminating gifts, erasing customs that defined pre-war Christmas for communities, families, individuals. Every missing fudge piece carried a message. Sugar rationing kills sweetness literally, figuratively. Traditions die when ingredients become impossible. Christmas candy becomes luxury civilian sacrifice. If these World War II sacrifices surprise you, hit like. Most people don't realize how deeply rationing affected daily life, especially holidays. Number 9. Pecan pie. Pecan pie required sugar and corn syrup, both rationed. Recipe calling for 1 cup sugar, 1 cup corn syrup amounts impossible to obtain simultaneously unless you saved rations for weeks. Sacrificed everything else. Dorothy Peterson wanted pecan pie for Christmas 1944. Her husband's favorite, her mother's recipe, family tradition. But sugar ration barely covered coffee sweetening. Corn syrup? Rationed separately, rarely available, disappeared from stores for months. She found pecan southern states still grew them, still sold them, though rationed for military use primarily. But pecans without sugar and syrup made no pie, just nuts and crust nobody wanted. December 1944, when corn syrup rationing compounded sugar rationing. Corn syrup rationed starting 1943, supposedly available through blue stamps, realistically unavailable most times. Stores received limited supplies, sold out immediately, left civilians checking back daily for months. Pecan pie became symbol of impossible Christmas. Recipe theoretically achievable. All ingredients technically available through rationing system. Practically impossible obtaining all ingredients simultaneously required luck, connections, months of hoarding, sacrificing other needs completely. Dorothy made no pecan pie Christmas 1944. Her husband understood, claimed he didn't mind, probably lied. Christmas dessert was applesauce cake, using apples from Victory Garden, minimal sugar, no corn syrup. Acceptable substitute that satisfied nobody, reminded everyone of missing traditions. Every missing pecan pie slice carried a message. Rationing doesn't just limit, it eliminates. Traditional desserts die when multiple ingredients are rationed simultaneously. Christmas becomes accepting substitutes, pretending they're adequate. Number 10. Sugar cookies. Sugar cookies required sugar obvious from name, but also required decorating sugar, colored sugar, the sparkly sugar that made cookies look festive, special, Christmas appropriate. Decorating sugar disappeared completely, never rationed, simply unavailable for civilians. Linda Carter wanted to make sugar cookies with her daughter's December 1942. Family tradition, holiday activity, teaching moment. She had saved sugar ration for cookies, barely enough for dough, nothing left for decorating, and no colored sugar available anywhere. Her daughters, ages 6 and 4, didn't understand. Why no colored sugar? Why couldn't they decorate cookies like last Christmas, like every Christmas before war? She tried explaining war, rationing, sacrifice concepts too abstract for children who just wanted red and green sugar. December 1942, when decorating supplies disappeared beyond basic ingredients. Sugar rationed, but decorating sugar unattainable at any price, with any stamps. Civilians got basic white sugar sparingly. Colored, sparkly, festive versions went nowhere. Production simply stopped. Linda's sugar cookies came out plain. Beige cookies, undecorated, undistinguished, technically sugar cookies, functionally disappointing. Her daughters decorated with cinnamon brown spice, creating patterns that looked nothing like Christmas, satisfied nobody, represented wartime childhood. Those plain cookies represented larger loss. Childhood joy rationed along with sugar. Holiday traditions dying not from lack of food, but lack of festive touches, lack of sparkle, lack of small luxuries that made Christmas feel magical, not just adequate. Every plain cookie carried a message. Rationing steals joy, not just ingredients. Children sacrifice magic. Christmas becomes functional, not festive. Number 11. Citrus fruits in stockings. Oranges in Christmas stockings. Depression-era luxury that became wartime impossibility. California oranges went to military vitamin C for troops, scurvy prevention, morale boost. Civilian children got apples if lucky, nothing if unlucky. James Mitchell's children expected oranges in Christmas stockings, December 1943. Every year since they could remember. 1 orange per stocking, bright color, sweet smell, special treat that appeared only Christmas morning. December 23rd, he searched for oranges. 4 grocery stores, no oranges. Stores explained, California's citrus production going entirely to military. Troops needed vitamin C, civilians would make do without. Government orders, nothing stores could do. December 1943, when citrus disappeared from civilian markets almost completely. Not rationed, requisitioned. Military took entire production, left nothing for home front. Oranges, lemons, grapefruit vanished from stores, remained unavailable until 1945, returned slowly 1946. Some oranges reached black market. Astronomical prices, 50 cents each when oranges cost nickel before war. Families couldn't afford black market citrus, couldn't justify spending grocery budget on 1 orange, 1 Christmas morning luxury. James's children got apples in stockings. Local apples, available apples, acceptable substitute. It felt like defeat. They didn't complain at 6 and 8. They understood war meant going without. But their faces Christmas morning revealed disappointment no explanation could eliminate. Every missing orange carried a message. Military needs supersede children's Christmas. Vitamin C goes to soldiers, not stockings. Traditions die when war requires entire harvests. Number 12. Bananas. Bananas disappeared December 1942. Didn't return until 1946. Completely gone. Shipping ceased cargo space needed for military supplies, for troops, for weapons. Bananas required refrigerated shipping. Refrigerated shipping became military transport. Bananas became war casualty. Susan Davis's children had never eaten bananas by 1945. Born during war, they lived entire conscious lives without bananas, without yellow fruit their mother described, but couldn't produce, couldn't find, couldn't afford at black market prices when occasionally available. She described bananas to them sweet, soft, yellow, special. They didn't understand. How could fruit disappear completely? Why couldn't one store somewhere have bananas? She tried explaining shipping, war, priorities. They were 5 and 3 too young to understand global logistics. December 1942, when bananas became historical artifact for youngest generation. Children born 1940 or later, growing up bananaless, unable to imagine fruit their parents remembered, that older siblings vaguely recalled, that disappeared like magic, like myth. Banana shortage lasting entire war, no exceptions, no relief, no occasional availability. Other rationed items became available periodically. Bananas? Never. Complete absence for 4 years, creating generation that didn't know bananas existed beyond stories. Susan's children first tasted bananas 1946. They hated them. Strange texture, unfamiliar taste, reality not matching parental descriptions. Wartime deprivation created generation disconnected from foods that supposedly defined American childhood before Pearl Harbor. Every missing banana carried a message. Some shortages are total, not partial. Entire foods disappear when war demands it. Generation grows up without foods their parents considered standard. Number 13. Coffee for Christmas morning. 1 pound of coffee per person every 5 weeks. That was ration November 1942 through July 1943. 5 weeks, 35 days, surviving on 1 pound of coffee. Christmas morning coffee became calculated luxury, carefully measured, impossibly precious. Robert Thompson drank 3 cups daily before rationing. December 1942, rationing reduced him to 1 cup daily, weak cup, reused grounds cup that barely tasted like coffee, he remembered. Christmas morning 1942, he wanted normal coffee. Strong coffee, multiple cups, traditional Christmas morning ritual while children opened presents, while family gathered. But strong coffee Christmas meant weak coffee for weeks after, meant running out before next ration came, meant choosing between Christmas luxury and January necessity. December 1942, when coffee rationing revealed American dependence on imported luxury. Coffee came from South America primarily, required shipping, required cargo space that war demanded. Government rationed coffee to 1 pound per person per 5 weeks, barely enough for habitual drinkers. Some coffee reached black market. Triple price, questionable quality, legal risk if caught purchasing. But desperate coffee drinkers paid, risked, needed caffeine more than safety, normalcy more than legality. Robert made strong coffee Christmas morning, 1942, used double grounds, brewed normally, filled house with smell of pre-war normal. Then weak coffee for 3 weeks after, then no coffee for 1 week. Then next ration arriving January 22nd Christmas coffee cost. January coffee sacrifice mathematics everyone calculated constantly. Every Christmas morning cup carried a message. Even small luxuries require sacrifice. Coffee becomes rationed carefully, consumed consciously. Christmas morning normal costs January deprivation. Would you drink weak coffee for weeks to have one strong cup Christmas morning? Let me know if you could survive World War II coffee rationing. Number 14. Chocolate. Chocolate went entirely to military. Hershey's D-ration bars heat-resistant chocolate for troops. Entire chocolate production converted to military supplies. Civilian chocolate disappeared almost completely December 1941, stayed gone until 1945. Patricia Moore's children wanted chocolate Christmas 1943. Chocolate Santa, chocolate coins, anything chocolate. She searched stores, no chocolate candy, no chocolate bars, no baking chocolate, nothing. Store clerks said same thing everywhere. Chocolate for military only. Civilians get nothing. She found black market chocolate $5 per pound when chocolate cost 50 cents before war. $5 equaled week's grocery budget. She couldn't justify it, couldn't spend food money on chocolate, couldn't make Christmas magical through criminal purchases. December 1943, when chocolate represented clearest military priority. Hershey's contracted exclusively with military, produced D-ration bars exclusively, left civilian market completely empty. Chocolate became memory, became story mothers told children who'd never tasted it. Some families hoarded pre-war chocolate, saved it, rationed it internally, made one bar last months. Others used carob powder chocolate substitute that tasted nothing like chocolate, satisfied nobody, reminded everyone constantly of what was missing. Patricia's children got no chocolate Christmas. 1943, 1944, 1945. 3 Christmases without chocolate. 3 years of childhood without candy that defined American childhood before war. They grew up thinking chocolate scarcity was normal, didn't understand abundance until rationing ended. Every missing chocolate piece carried a message. Military gets first choice, always. Civilian luxury dies when soldiers need it. Children sacrifice candy, so soldiers have energy bars. Number 15. Canned pineapple. Hawaii's pineapple production halted December 7, 1941. Pearl Harbor attacked. Island's production converted entirely to military support. Civilian market abandoned completely. Canned pineapple disappeared overnight, stayed unavailable until 1946. Dorothy Jenkins needed pineapple for Christmas ham December 1943. Traditional recipe, mother's method, required canned pineapple rings. But stores hadn't stocked pineapple since Pearl Harbor. 2 years without pineapple. 2 years of empty shelves where tropical fruit once sat. She asked grocer when pineapple might return. He laughed bitterly. Hawaii's entire production goes to military. Will go to military until war ends. Civilians get nothing. Pearl Harbor didn't just damage ships. It destroyed civilian access to Hawaiian products indefinitely. December 1943, when geographic tragedy created food scarcity. Hawaii's pineapple industry couldn't serve both military and civilian markets. Military took everything: production, canning, shipping. Civilians learned that Hawaii's distance meant Hawaii's products disappeared when war demanded it. Some canned pineapple reached black market astronomical prices, questionable origins, possibly stolen from military supplies. Buying it meant risking prosecution for receiving stolen military goods, supporting criminal networks, undermining war effort for Christmas ham garnish. Dorothy made ham without pineapple. Plain ham, traditional preparation, missing crucial ingredient that defined the dish for her family. Ham tasted incomplete, looked bare, reminded everyone at every bite that war touched everything, even Christmas dinner presentation. Every missing pineapple ring carried a message. Geographic vulnerability creates food insecurity. Hawaii's attack meant Hawaii's products disappeared. Christmas traditions die when war happens where food grows. Number 16. Real whipped cream. Heavy cream disappeared from civilian markets 1943. Dairy production went to cheese, butter, Powdered milk for military. Heavy cream luxury item became unavailable at any price through any rationing stamps. Helen Morrison wanted whipped cream for Christmas pie, December 1943. Real cream, whipped with sugar, traditional topping that made pumpkin pie special, made dessert feel celebratory, made Christmas taste right. No cream available. None. Grocery stores explained. Heavy cream production ceased for civilians. All dairy going to military as powdered milk, cheese, butter. Fresh cream perishable, difficult to ship. Luxury soldiers didn't need disappeared from production entirely. December 1943, when dairy rationing hit luxury products hardest. Milk available but limited. Butter rationed severely. Cheese rationed. Heavy cream? Simply not produced for civilians. Government decided cream was unnecessary luxury during wartime, eliminated it from civilian markets. Some women attempted substitutes: evaporated milk, whipped with sugar, powdered milk mixed thick, even beaten egg whites with sugar. Nothing resembled real whipped cream. Texture wrong, taste wrong, deflating quickly, satisfying nobody, reminding everyone of missing cream. Helen's Christmas pie got no whipped cream. Plain pie, served plain, tasted complete but looked bare, felt inadequate, represented larger deprivation. Home front families experienced not starvation, not hunger, but absence of small luxuries that made special occasions feel special. Every missing whipped cream dollop carried a message. Luxury disappears first during war. Dairy rationing kills cream production. Christmas dessert becomes plain because soldiers need cheese, butter, powdered milk more than civilians need whipped cream. Number 17. Cheese ball appetizers. Cheese rationed heavily, expensive in points, difficult to obtain, reserved primarily for military. Cheese balls, party appetizers requiring 8 to 16 ounces cheese, became impossible luxury, holiday tradition abandoned. Mary Thompson made cheese balls every Christmas since 1935. Cream cheese, cheddar, pecans, served with crackers, traditional appetizer before Christmas dinner. December 1943, she calculated cheese required points, consuming entire week's ration, leaving no cheese for anything else. She couldn't justify cheese ball. One appetizer consuming week's cheese ration? Impossible. Her family needed cheese for sandwiches, for daily meals, for week-long sustenance. Christmas appetizer couldn't consume resources needed for basic nutrition. December 1943, when cheese rationing revealed war's impact on non-essential foods. Basic cheese available through rationing, small amounts, carefully allotted. Luxury cheese applications, cheese balls, cheese plates, cheese-heavy recipes became impossible, requiring hoarding stamps for weeks. Some families made mock cheese ball, white beans mashed with margarine, seasonings rolled in nuts. Looked similar from distance, tasted nothing like cheese, fooled nobody, represented attempts to maintain Christmas traditions through ridiculous substitutions. Mary served no cheese ball. Christmas 1943. She served crackers with margarine, apologized unnecessarily, understood everyone else faced same deprivations, same impossible calculations, same choosing between tradition and practical nutrition. Nobody complained. Everyone understood. All missed it. Every missing cheese ball carried a message. Party foods die first during rationing. Entertaining traditions require abundance. Christmas appetizers become casualties when cheese is rationed by the ounce. If you're shocked by what Americans couldn't get during World War II, hit like. These weren't hardships. These were patriotic sacrifices families endured willingly. Number 18. Cream-based casseroles. Cream of mushroom soup. Cream of chicken soup casserole foundations disappeared from stores frequently. Canned goods rationed through blue stamps. Cream soups scarce because dairy rationing limited cream availability. Because military took priority, because casserole convenience became wartime luxury. Janet Davis planned green bean casserole Christmas 1944. Traditional side dish, family recipe required cream of mushroom soup. She went to stores with blue stamps ready, no cream soups available. None. Empty shelves where Campbell's soups once sat. Clerk explaining. Cream soups rarely restocked, military priority. Check back next week. Next week, still nothing. Week after, nothing. December 20th, still no cream soups available anywhere within walking distance. Her Christmas casserole died from unavailable ingredient she'd taken for granted before rationing. December 1944, when canned goods rationing created unpredictable availability. Items theoretically available through stamps became practically unavailable. Stores received limited supplies. Items sold out immediately. Restocking took weeks or months. Rationing stamps meant permission to buy, not guarantee of availability. Some women made cream soups from scratch milk, flour, chicken broth, mushrooms if available. Homemade versions took time. Rationing was supposed to save, tasted different, required ingredients also rationed, defeated convenience that made canned soups popular before war. Janet made green beans without soup. Plain green beans, butter if she had it, salt, pepper, served warm, tasted fine, looked boring, reminded everyone that convenience foods were wartime casualty, that casseroles required ingredients that might not exist regardless of rationing stamps saved. Every soupless casserole carried a message. Availability matters more than rationing stamps. Convenience dies during war. Christmas sides become plain when canned goods disappear, despite permission to purchase them. Number 19. Nuts for baking. Nuts rationed for military use. Concentrated protein, portable food, energy dense. Walnuts, pecans, almonds, all difficult to obtain, expensive in points, rarely available in quantities. Baking required. Susan Miller needed pecans for Christmas cookies. December 1942. Her mother's recipe, her grandmother's tradition, required 2 cups pecans. Stores had nuts occasionally, 2 ounces maximum per customer. Rationed carefully, sold out within hours of restocking. She visited stores for 3 weeks, bought 2 ounces when available, hoarded them carefully. 3 weeks yielded 7 ounces, less than 1 cup, half what recipe required. Make cookies with half pecans, or make no cookies at all. December 1942, when nut rationing hit baking traditions hard. Nuts classified as concentrated protein, directed to military for energy bars, trail rations, portable nutrition. Civilians got tiny amounts, inadequate for traditional holiday baking, requiring pounds of nuts. Some families substituted nuts with oats, with coconut if available, with nothing, just omitting nuts entirely, hoping cookies would still work. Results were disappointing: texture wrong, flavor missing, traditions dying because key ingredients became military rations. Susan made half pecan cookies, stretched pecans across 2 batches, made them last, made cookies that sort of resembled traditional versions, tasted almost right, reminded everyone at every bite that war took even small things like sufficient nuts for Christmas baking. Every sparse cookie carried a message. Baking traditions require specific ingredients. Substitution satisfies legally, not emotionally. Christmas cookies taste incomplete when nuts are rationed for military energy bars. Number 20. Store-bought Christmas cookies. Bakeries closed or converted to military production. Sugar rationing made commercial baking nearly impossible. The bakeries that stayed open produced limited quantities, required rationing stamps, sold out immediately, never had Christmas cookies, never had decorated items, never had luxury baked goods. Robert Wilson wanted bakery cookies for Christmas 1944. Too tired to bake, too busy with war work, wanted to buy Christmas cookies like before rationing, like when bakeries had full cases, like when money bought anything without stamps, without limits, without empty shelves. He went to 3 bakeries. All same story. Minimal production, Sugar rationing, limited baking, no Christmas cookies available, no special orders taken, no way to buy convenience Christmas used to offer. Bakeries surviving on bread production, plain cakes, nothing festive, nothing Christmas specific. December 1944, when commercial baking industry collapsed under rationing. Bakeries needed sugar for production, couldn't get sufficient sugar, either closed or drastically reduced offerings. The convenience of buying Christmas cookies disappeared completely. Make them yourself, with rationed ingredients, or do without. Some bakeries operated black market operations, illegal cookies, illegal cakes, cash only, no stamps, double or triple prices, legal risk if caught. Desperate families sometimes purchased, risked fines, wanted Christmas normal enough to break law. Robert baked no cookies, bought no cookies, served no cookies. Christmas 1944. His children got store crackers, fruit from Victory Garden, popcorn strings as Christmas treat. Cookies, symbol of Christmas baking, became casualty of sugar rationing, of commercial baking collapse, of war touching every tradition Americans had taken for granted. Every missing cookie carried a message. Commercial convenience dies during total war. Sugar rationing kills bakery industry. Christmas becomes make it yourself or do without proposition. 20 foods. 4 Christmases: 1941, 1942, 1943, and 1944. Beef requiring red stamps. Sugar rationed to ounces. Chocolate disappearing to military. Bananas gone completely for 4 years. Coffee limited to 1 pound per 5 weeks. These weren't shortages. This was rationing. Government-mandated sacrifice. Office of Price Administration, determining who ate, what, when, how much. Ration books holding red stamps for meat, blue stamps for processed foods, brown stamps for canned goods. Families planning meals around stamps, hoarding stamps for holidays, choosing between daily necessities and Christmas traditions. The home front didn't starve. Americans weren't hungry like Europe starved, but Americans went without abundance, without excess, without luxury, without treats, without the foods.